Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Is Welcome to Ageless Intimacy. I am Coach Joseph. This is
Dr. Mia.
your B3 specialist, and today, we're talking about embracing the journey of aging gracefully. Um, so we're gonna wait till a few people get in the room.
So I'll just introduce who I am. I'm Dr. Mia, your B3 specialist and board certified gynecologist at Bella Wellness Center, where we offer gynecology to women and adolescents, as well as total wellness services for both men and women, including hormone pellet therapy, weight management, intimacy services, total wellness with supplements, and laser hair removal. Our goal is to help you live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy. And we are super excited because we are celebrating 14 years of business this month at Bella Wellness Center. For those of you who are already patients, we have some amazing deals on services that you're probably already getting, like the hormone pellets and the intimacy and the weight management, laser hair supplements, and all the things. So make sure that y'all check out our specials on Facebook page, Bella Health and Wellness. Make sure you tell your friends and remind them, if you're not a patient of Bella and you've been interested in the pellets, you've been interested in the weight management, you've been needing to get rid of some of that extra hair, you want to have better big O's, you want to have better intimacy with your partner, then go ahead and get 14% off all services at Bella Wellness Center outside of gynecology. So, Joseph, you're leading us today and kind of leading the discussion about aging gracefully, talking about embracing the journey of this midlife journey that we always talk about. You want to start talking about what that journey looks like for men, and then talk about what it looks like for women, because we're kind of talking to men, women, as well as couples.
Well, I mean, it's different for everybody, but we all experience some type of aging. Some people don't. Some people are aging really well. But what we're talking about is how to. We're really talking about preventive maintenance, right? Because some of us who are not aging gracefully because we just haven't taken care of ourselves. So now we're hitting our 50s. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got doctor's appointment. We're taking a lot of pills. Our blood pressure's high.
Back pain, knee surgeries.
Pains. Yeah, all type of stuff. So really the key to aging gracefully is taking care of yourself.
Right.
And it's not, I mean, you can at 50 start getting in shape and everything like that. It's just a little bit harder.
But it's doable.
But it's most definitely doable. So, but it really is, it's about taking care of yourself. So, and we talk about
taking care of yourself, like completely, like not just physically, but also emotionally, healthy, control of your stress, being able to exercise, spiritually taking care of yourself, making sure you're having your therapy, the exercise, like all the things, not just the physical part of it, but also the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual part of it too.
Right. And so, we talk a lot about intimacy. I mean, intimacy is our business, but we talk more about how, we can help you with intimacy, but to be honest with you, a lot of times it is aging. A lot of times is what you're doing to your body, what you're putting in your body. Unfortunately, the foods that are being sold to us, and not all the food that are being sold to us, you have to be selective. You can't go to a regular grocery store and buy good food, but you have to be selective. You have to become a label reader. Perfect example for me is I can't eat enriched flour. Anything with enriched flours, it swells me up, makes me feel like I'm 35 pounds heavier than I am. And
what you're putting in your
body.
And go ahead. And I think understanding your body too, because that's a good point that you just made, like what you're putting in your body, but knowing what you're putting in your body and listening to your body, because some things that may affect me negatively may not affect Joseph negatively. But if I realize that everything with enriched flour, I have a lot of bloating and discomfort, then maybe what I should do is not with enriched flour. So now we buy sourdough bread instead of buying the wheat bread and the breads that have the white enriched flour.
Yeah, and it's with anything though. You become a label reader, and you have to understand what you're putting in your body. So, like I'm saying, you know, a lot of we try to deal with preventive maintenance, and part of preventive maintenance is working out.
All right. I had to I'm trying to switch over to network because I see out just a little bit. We're muted. Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. So, so we talk about preventive maintenance. So, one thing's preventive maintenance is, and you know, I'm gonna say I'm talking to people who are younger than I am. So I'm 54 years old. So I'm talking to people who are 35, and even young people. Just if you got a 20-year-old or up, if you're working out and you're 20, don't ever stop working out.
Right.
You know, and you're not going to be able to eat cheeseburgers for the rest of your life, because that's counterproductive to your workout.
Right.
You know, you can be a healthy person and die of a heart attack because you got clogged arteries.
Right.
All right. But so preventive maintenance, working out 3 to 4 times a week. That doesn't mean necessarily you got a trainer and you're going hard and you're trying to compete.
Yeah.
No. And if your body is not strong enough to do CrossFit type of activities, you probably should not do that, because that works on your joints. And a lot of people I know, and a lot of people Doc know, and a lot of people we know that's in our age group who trying to do CrossFit have become seriously injured, and have had to have surgeries behind it.
So that's a good point. And even though you need to exercise, make sure you're exercising correctly,
right,
so you're not harming yourself. And understand that over 35, your focus should be resistance training. Right. Do we need to do some cardio? Yes, but you can actually do that in between your resistance training. But building
cardio doesn't mean you're doing something that you pounding the pavement to do.
Right.
Cardio could be on a bike, a stationary bike. Right. It could be
swimming.
Right. Swimming probably is the best cardio you can do. I don't swim.
It could be mountain climbers in between your resistance training. You know, it can be marching in place with high knees between your resistance training. So you can.
It doesn't mean anything stressful that could be stressful.
Yeah, you don't have to run a marathon.
Like, I'm not running anywhere. I don't care what's happening. I'm not running.
And if I am, y'all better run too, because that means I'm running from something.
Right. So we're talking about preventive maintenance and aging gracefully. And part of aging gracefully is doing what you can do correctly or the best you can right now, because the truth of the matter is health is expensive, you know,
and it's wealth too.
Right. And it's expensive. So you eat well costs money.
Right.
You know, we go to the Whole Foods, we go to the Sprouts, but you don't have to do that. You can go to Publix and buy Publix Greenwise type of products and things like that.
Go to Costco too and get organic meat.
Yeah, and get organic meats like that. But that can be expensive too sometimes.
Yeah, but it's still cheaper
because it's in
bulk. Right.
But you know, you can go to any grocery store and find healthy options, but you're gonna have to become a label reader. You know, the next thing I would say is make sure you're going to the doctor on a regular basis like you're supposed to, because aging gracefully is also making sure you know what your blood pressure is, you know what your cholesterol is, you know how your heart is functioning. You
and
know
if it's something wrong, you're taking the medication to correct it.
You're supposed to take.
Right.
You know, we hear a lot of unfortunate stories where people just die. And people are like, I didn't know their blood pressure was high. They had a stroke. Right. You know, and it's people, young people.
Yeah, having strokes now. Like a few
now.
of my young patients have had strokes recently.
And major strokes.
And one person I asked, like what happened? And it was because they were on high blood pressure medicine and she just wasn't taking the medicine. So her blood pressure was really high and she actually had a stroke. Thank God she lived and she'll probably completely recover. But right now she's still going through a healing period. Right. Like those people who have colon cancer because they did not go and have their colonoscopies as recommended starting at the age of 45.
But if you're going to a doctor regularly and you're going to a doctor you trust, they should be telling you in scheduling and all
Not
this stuff.
scheduling. They should be reminding you of the
You.
screening.
But no, I'm not saying
supposed to
scheduling.
have.
What I'm saying is they know what your age is,
Yeah.
and they know when you're supposed to have this
Right.
stuff done.
Right.
So they should be telling you,
Right.
hey, it's time for
Yeah.
this.
Your primary care
refer
doctor,
you-
your
yeah.
gynecologist, wherever you're going, they should be updating your screening and making sure you're doing your proper maintenance.
And let me refer you to this person so you can get that done. Let's go ahead and get that done right away. You know, you're supposed to have it done a year ago. Did you get it done? No. Let's go ahead and get that done a year ago. You know, and go over your you know, I'm not saying, but you should be going over your information, your chart.
And now everybody has a portal. So you can actually go into the portal, you can download your labs, you can look at your labs, you can go back and look at the note. If you go to the doctor, you don't remember what was said and done, you have a whole portal. If you have a question about one of your medications, you have a portal where you can go in there, you can ask the questions. You have more access in 2024 to doctors and to your providers than we ever have because of technology and because of your portal. So make sure that you're going to the doctor, you're keeping up with your appointments, you're doing your regular screenings. Like Joseph said, the exercising. If I don't know anything, because I have all these really healthy patients that are like in their late 70s and 80s, and they are still sexually, you know, being able to be sexually active. They're still walking, they're exercising. Some of them are playing golf, some of them are playing tennis. In their 60s, 70s, and 80s, but those are people who have been exercising for a very long time. The one thing that I have noticed about people who live a long time and they age well, most of them exercise on a regular basis. And when I say age well, they're still mobile. They still can do the things that they enjoy. You know, they still have a good working mind. That's the way I would like to age. So I always ask, so what is it? What is the secret? And that is what I found in common is exercise, healthy eating, going to the doctor, doing their preventive screenings. Many of them have a therapist. Many of them have great coping skills for stress reduction, but they're still doing their part with just the basic maintenance. So,
and a lot of times it's just walking. We live in a walking neighborhood, and I hate to call people elderly, but most of
more
our
mature
neighbors, they're walking, and we live in a hilly neighborhood, and they're hitting them hills like no problem. So,
and I see a lot of men lately walking too, like, which is impressive because they used to not be. I'm just saying it's great that it's a lot of men out there walking, because it used to be that you would see either couples or women, but now I'm just seeing a lot of men who are just making it a part of their regimen.
And you can notice those men are, you can tell they're on a weight loss journey, you know, and that's really important. You know, that's what my next thing after working out is know your weight, know your BMI.
Yeah, know your numbers, all of them.
Know your BMI.
Right.
You know, so know what your healthy BMI is. You know, now, I'll be honest with you, it can say you're obese and you may not feel like you're overweight. You feel like you're at a natural weight, but it is really telling you probably need to lose some weight.
Right.
You know, and I feel, Doc might not feel this, there are some people who are just bigger people, but do need to lose weight. And so their BMIs are going to come
50
up.
50 pounds.
Yeah, their BMI is going to come up as obese, but they still probably need to lose weight.
But maybe not 30 or 40 pounds.
Yeah, maybe not 30, 40 pounds. It's just 20. Like, I'm a bigger person.
Right.
Period.
So it'd be hard for him to weigh what they say for him to weigh.
Yeah.
But he can get as close to it as possible, exercise, and make sure, you know, that he get, but it probably won't be a BMI of 20, under 25, like we say for women. It may be more of a BMI between 27 and 29. Versus the low 25.
And I would say I'm obese, but I could be fit.
Well, that's over. Yeah, that'd be more like overweight. Yeah, you can be fit.
I could be fit.
But for the average person, that number really does matter. Joseph is very different in that he is a 54-year-old man who just naturally has always had a lot of muscle. He has not worked out consistently, like lifting heavy weights or anything in like the last 10 or 15 years. And at 55, he still has a lot of muscle. But he is the exception to the rule. I, on the other hand, have never had a lot of muscle. I've had to work for my muscle. I have to have a trainer, and I have to do resistance training all the time. I have to eat plenty of protein, and I still am not a muscular person. So my weight is true to what they say. When I am 5'4.5", if I weigh over 145, I'm overweight. So right now I weigh 149, I think the last time I weighed. So technically I am overweight. So I really should keep my weight at like 142. And I'm not going to look sick if I keep my weight at 142. I don't look so thin right now that I can't afford to lose 7 to 9 pounds. So knowing your numbers, not just your weight and your height and your BMI, but also knowing what your blood pressure numbers are.
Right.
Checking your blood pressure throughout the day, because we're still at that age where blood pressure starts to change. Especially in African Americans, you couldn't survive on a slave ship unless you were salt, sensitive, and you retained salt, or you would have died. So we are selected out for high blood pressure in the United States of America. That's how our people were able to make it across all of that water, is because they had naturally high blood pressure. So as a result, we may be healthy. We may be exercising a healthy way, eating healthy, and our blood pressure is still high. Well, at that point, you have to take blood pressure medicine. You can't say I'm doing all the right things and I want to avoid medicine. If you don't take the blood pressure medicine, you're more likely to have a stroke and major heart disease that can actually kill you, because again, the number one cause of death in the United States of America is heart disease. So that's including high blood pressure, heart failure, heart attacks, and I would even include that stroke part of it in there, because it's still related to blood pressure, which affects the heart. So know all of your numbers, know your diabetes numbers, get your cholesterol checked on a regular basis. If you know you have a family history of diabetes, you should be getting your A1C checked at least yearly. And if it's over 5.5, you should be getting it checked at least every 6 months. If it's high and you're in the pre-diabetes range, take some medicine to get it down so that you don't develop full-blown diabetes. So all of this pre-diabetes and, it's under 6.5, but it's 6. You should be on some medicine to try to keep yourself from going into the 6.5 range, because when you're insulin resistant like that, it's hard to lose weight and maintain a healthy weight, because high insulin levels fight against fat burning. So taking the medication will lower your insulin level so you can lose the weight and decrease your chance of getting diabetes. So knowing all of your numbers, knowing your cholesterol, taking your supplements, taking your vitamin C, taking your vitamin D, taking your vitamin A, taking your zinc, making sure you're taking a good omega-3. Like all of those are simple little things that we can all be doing just for longevity and anti-aging. So know your numbers, get your exercise in, do your preventive screenings and see your doctors on a regular basis, and take your medications to keep your numbers in the normal range. And then let's talk a little bit about more of the emotional, mental, and spiritual part of it for total wellness and health. What you think, Joseph?
I have something else I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I forgot. Anyway, emotional. So, we're talking about aging gracefully, right? So, I think that emotionally, I don't know what to say about emotionally, but I think that it's important that mentally you have to just make sure you're sound mentally. And there's no way to be sound mentally if you're concerned about your health. I think a therapist is important. If you have, I think a therapist is just important in 2024, unless you have people that you can really be honest and open with and talk about. Can I finish what I'm saying? Yeah. But everybody's there. No, unless you have people you can, because a lot of people just don't have people to talk to.
Yeah, but I personally am a huge proponent of having a therapist, because when you're talking to people that care about you, they can be biased. And sometimes they tell you what you want to hear and what they feel comfortable. That's not everyone, but I just want to say that on my platform, I do believe in finding a good therapist that's probably not your family member, just for a little bit of clarity and sometimes for a different perspective by a trained therapist. So I will say that I do believe in a therapist.
I believe in therapists as well, but I have men that I can talk to, and we have open, honest conversations that helps. Right. With that. So I believe in
but therapists. But not in lieu of a therapist, but in addition. Yeah.
All right. Whatever you want to say, Doc.
Yeah. So then go ahead. I'm saying that's what I tell my patients every day. I know, I got to make sure I'm consistent. Right? Yeah, I'm just saying I'm making sure when I'm talking to my patients, I'm consistent in what I say. Yeah. So mental health, making sure you have a therapist, making sure you have a good support system around you that you can talk to, bounce ideas off of, whether that's in your friend group. Having both, I think, is going to be very important, to have a trained therapist, but also to have that good support group and have some people that you can trust, that you can have great discussions with. I think all of that is going to be important in your emotional health. And then stress reduction, figuring out the best way for you to reduce stress in your life, because we're all going to have stress. There's always going to be something going on, something that we may not want to be going on. But how are you able to deal with stress? Whether you do that spiritually, which is a lot of what I do, whether you're using meditation to relax your mind, you know what I mean? Again, having those people to talk to, having a therapist that you can talk to, and finding things that you enjoy where you can actually relax for stress reduction. Those are all going to be key in aging well, because if you hold in a whole bunch of stress, it increases your risk of heart disease and so many other things that can affect your physical health, even past your mental health. And then I also think, if you are starting to notice more irritability, starting to notice that you're not sleeping, or you can't sleep at night, or you're sleeping more, you're eating more, you have no desire to eat, you don't have the energy or the desire to do the things that you used to enjoy doing, you're having a lot of palpitations and anxiety, and it's just really stressful for you to do small things that you were able to do before that didn't cause those problems. Those are all signs and symptoms that it may be something going on mentally, meaning your neurotransmitters are off, just like your hormone levels can be off. And then adding on that hormone balance, it's not always just neurotransmitters. Sometimes in your 30s and 40s, your hormones are imbalanced. So by getting your hormones checked, balancing your hormones, all of those things are going to help with anti-aging, longevity, making sure you're transitioning through the midlife journey, successfully and gracefully, with some peace of mind. I think that taking into account the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, having a good support circle, group of friends that you can trust, that you can have real conversations with, that'll be honest with you, having access to therapy and mental health services in general, because some of us need more than therapy. Some of us need a psychiatrist to help us manage medications, because a lot of people do suffer with depression and anxiety and bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and they live a healthy, normal lifestyle every day, as long as they're taking their medications to control those, mental health concerns that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So all the things that we can be doing to age gracefully, and just embracing this journey, because it is ever changing. Like, things happen in life, things happen with our neurotransmitters, experiences, hormonal imbalance, aging. So many different things can cause changes in our lives that affect our health. But again, there are wonderful things that we can all be doing, including eating healthy, exercising, and making sure that when we need help, we seek help, and we keep good support circles around us at all times.
Right.
And then for mental health too, exercise is a huge component of it, and what you're eating and putting in your body. Because if you're eating a lot of sugar and a lot of processed foods, it makes you feel bad. You don't have energy. You are going to be tired. You can be more depressed and more anxious if you're having a lot of sugar and a lot of caffeine, and you're doing a lot of energy drinks. So paying attention to also what you're putting in your body, so that you can age gracefully and truly embrace this midlife journey that we are so grateful to be able to go through, because everybody didn't make it to the midlife journey. So we're excited
especially
that we're here.
COVID.
Yes.
Last 5 years have been tough. So yeah.
But
this is a good time. I think we have a conversation about how people said they changed after COVID, after having COVID, their bodies changed and everything. So they had to pay more attention to their medical life after COVID. So this is a good time to really, like, if you're coming through your 40s and stuff like that, make sure you're being as healthy as possible. Because a lot of people who did not catch COVID were people who were supplement users and worked out a lot, worked out. Not so that it wasn't everybody. Let's make this really clear. And
there was a lot of people who did all those things and got COVID.
And it was some people that had underlying conditions that they didn't know.
Right.
And that's probably from them not going to the doctor. They figured because they're working out and eating okay and drinking water. But sometimes you could be a slim guy who run all the time and you got high blood pressure. It's just a hereditary type of thing, or you have,
or your numbers off and you just ain't had them checked,
or you have heart disease,
right?
So it's just everybody needs to make sure they're going to the doctor.
Right. And a normal screening is heart disease. And I'm noticing that as a lot of us, because I think we're healthier than maybe what we anticipate being at this age, that a lot of people aren't at age 50 getting any kind of screening cardiology wise. And even I've seen patients who have high blood pressure or diabetes. And I'm like, so when was your last cardiac workup? Like, I'm turning close to 50 and Joseph has had one probably in the last 2 years, but we need to go get our cardiac workup, have an echo. Both of us have heart disease in our families, but making sure we're getting those screenings that aren't on the books, like outside of mammograms and pap smears and prostate exams and colonoscopies, also bone densities, and making sure that we have a good cardiac workup on a regular basis, so that if things are starting to change with our heart, we recognize them before the heart attack or, you know, the MI or the negative event like a stroke.
Right. Because that's the two things you have, a heart attack or stroke. And
then even something as simple as what we talk about all the time, sleep apnea. Do you know how many people have sleep apnea? If you think about it, in the state of Alabama, 65% of Alabamians are overweight or obese. That is a risk factor for sleep apnea. And you think about the number of our young children who are obese now, meaning BMIs over 30, over 40. I see it all the time. Teenagers, you know, they're skipping cycles, they're overweight, they're obese, but they are not being screened for sleep apnea. If your BMI is like over 27, or you have a certain look where you have like the shorter neck or the wider neck like Joseph does, like a football player, or you're a woman who gains all her weight up here, you have really big boobs, you should be, if anybody's told you that you snore, you should be screened for sleep apnea, because uncontrolled sleep apnea causes high blood pressure, heart disease, heart failure, and death. So just the little things that we don't always think about, but making sure we put them in our screening round, and we think about, like Joseph always says, your family history.
Yes.
Share your family history with your doctor. What's going on in your family that you should be concerned about that could be genetic, so that you can avoid those things.
Right. Because my mom has sleep apnea. I have sleep apnea. You know, my blood pressure has been high, but it's not.
No, you don't have high blood pressure. Diagnosed, yeah.
And then what else? Heart disease. My cholesterol is normal.
Yeah.
Heart disease.
But at one time, you did have high triglycerides, and they went down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it was a while ago.
I just think most of that stuff is normal for me because the lifestyle that my mother had.
Oh yeah. She taught you how to live a healthy lifestyle because she had heart disease.
I don't know if she taught me, but
she ate baked food.
No, we were eating whatever she cooked.
Right.
So it wasn't no question about why we eating baked chicken.
Right.
No,
but as a result, when you were adult, you weren't frying a lot of food. You still were making food and eating the way your mom taught you to eat.
Yeah, I ate the way we ate because that's all I knew, especially coming through high school. You know, like my most memorable times was she just cooked healthy. Right. You know, and we may have pizza here and there, and she ate ice cream was her.
But it wasn't every night.
Her ice cream was her thing, but it wasn't. No, we had baked foods. We ate baked foods,
and we cooked at home.
Yeah, we cooked at home,
and that's what we try to do now. You know, but you teach your children how to grow up and be healthy adults. You teach them those habits that they're going to take with them. So if you eat fast food all the time and that's all y'all do all week long is eat out, then more than likely that's what they're going to do.
Diseases in your downline,
right? And that's what they're going to do when they're adults. So they're going to continue that theme, which is going to increase the risk of all those diseases.
And plus, that food is not even satisfying. We were just saying that
you're hungry right away.
No, we're not even hungry right away. The fact is, it's just not good. You pay for food that don't just taste like it's amazing. You know, you spend a lot of money on food. Going to restaurants, even going to some of these nicer, what we consider nice restaurants, some of this food that you pay for is not good. It just don't taste like this is what I should have paid for, when you could have spent the same money at the grocery store and cook for 3 days.
Yeah. And when I eat fast food, I am hungry in like a couple of hours. So if I go get some fried wings, ranch, and fries, I'm going to be hungry in 2 or 3 hours. Whereas if I go get something healthier with some fiber and some good protein and some lean protein, I'm not going to be hungry as fast.
If I get some fast food, I want it to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And the only thing is enjoyable is the Coca-Cola I probably get. That's the only enjoyable
thing. Every blue moon, hopefully.
Yeah. I don't eat that much fast food. So, I'm just saying it's not worth what you pay for.
Right.
Bottom line.
So I think another part of the midlife healthy journey is learning how to meal prep. And if you can't meal prep yourself, then get somebody who can help you prep your meals with healthy foods and healthy options for you and your family instead of spending the money eating out. Because if you start adding it up, you can have somebody to help you prepare your meals for about the same cost as eating in restaurants and eating fast food throughout the week. You would save money and you get better quality food.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so all the different things we can do to like live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy, making sure that's including all our different types of health, and then trying to address all of the different components of health and wellness, so we can live our best lives. You have any tips or anything that you want to share with the people?
No, just try to be your best self. I mean, everybody, nobody really wants to die a bad death. I guess a painful
right
death,
miserable
miserable death. I don't want to get a disease that just deteriorate me, and now let me just be perfectly clear. Some things we cannot prevent.
Or control.
But if I don't want anything that's directly to get something that's directly related to my lifestyle, because I'm abusing my lifestyle.
Right.
And
I want to at least say I did my part.
It takes me down really slow.
Yeah.
And my family have to deal with that, because we say this all the time. If you don't pay for your health now, your family will pay for your health later.
And you will too.
So.
Yeah. And then I forgot what I was gonna say. Mine was,
because you wasn't supposed to say nothing after I gave my tip.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. Hi. So guess what, y'all? We'll see y'all soon. We just had another podcast to come out. I think it was our 4th podcast, perhaps. Yep. Our number 4. So hopefully
and
y'all
then go look at the replays.
Replays
of the podcast for the anniversary.
Yeah, we did one for the
talking
anniversary.
To our nurse practitioners, Brittany, Valerie, and Alicia. That was really great. Go take a look at that. A lot of great information there. We're probably going to start doing this as a podcast versus how we do this. But otherwise, y'all have a phenomenal night and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
2025 is coming. December, January, we focus on weight management, because we like to kick it in the summertime.
And in the holidays.
She liked to kick it in the holidays,
but we all tend to eat a little bit more and eat foods that we don't normally eat.
I'm starting my hard 75 tomorrow.
So
I'm not
not going to eat on Thanksgiving?
I mean, I'm going to eat food, but I'm not going to be pigging out. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and plus I can't even eat like that no more.
Right. And that's what we're going to be talking about, how to get through the holidays without gaining tons of weight. So that's what we're going to be talking about in December.
Talk about weight management for December and January. We got a challenge coming up in January, a 3-day challenge coming up in January.
A webinar in December.
Yes, I just said.
You said it's a challenge in January. I was saying we also have a webinar in December. Okay.
Anyway, but no, we got all that coming up. So get ready, because we're going to have a lot of tips for weight management. But we will always focus on weight management in December and January, just because, that's the holidays. We coming through Thanksgiving, where some of us is going to get it done. But see, here's the thing. I'm going to eat not that much food, but I'm going to eat plenty of food for 5 days straight. Like, I'm going to eat a lot of food for 5 days straight.
Now I got me 2 days. I'm going to do Thursday and Friday. That's what I get. I'm going
to have I'm going to have sandwiches on Saturday. I'm going to have, because we got, we in Alabama. So I'm
going to watch my portions.
Hold on, let me finish. We in Alabama. We got the Iron Bowl on Saturday. So it's going to be plenty of food, plenty of drinks, all that going on Saturday, because drinks sometimes have more calories than your food, just in case you didn't know. So you should watch what you're drinking during the holiday. That's my tip. Watch how much you're drinking during the holidays.
And watch your portions.
That will put weight on you, even if you're eating well. That will put weight on you, the drinks alone.
Yes.
So we're coming through, Thanksgiving, Alabama, Auburn,
Christmas,
New Year's, You know,
then it's Valentine's Day coming up right after that.
and then some of these states have made up holidays somewhere between there probably.
Right.
But what we're
Sweetest
saying
day.
is, this is the time where we say, "Whoo, we're gonna eat all this food," and Christmas parties.
Yeah.
All
If you
after
at an
Thanksgiving,
office, people like to bring you a bunch of
bunch
Christmas
of food
goodies.
and stuff.
It's always
Watch all that
junk
stuff.
around.
Watch
Yeah.
all of that stuff because you're gonna. I mean, you'll look up on January 1st. You'll be like, "Whoo, I'm about to start my workout," and you gain 15 pounds.
Right. So weigh yourself regularly, drink your water, try to meal prep, and then watch those portion sizes. And then join us in December as we talk about weight management through the holidays and how to use weight management so you can live your healthiest, best life. It's one of the most preventable causes of disease, obesity. All right, y'all. Go be great. Have a wonderful week, and we will see y'all very soon. Bye. And don't forget about the anniversary specials. Happy birthday, me Bella, number 14. Bye-bye.
Bye.